Good evening, ladies and germs. Tonight we will be going through the new instance that is in the beta. It is called Stormstout Brewery. This particular instance is also available in the 85 to 90 range, although the first time I got into it, I was actually 86. You start off in this room over here, and it looks like for tonight's group, I have a Troll Priest for a healer, Goblin Mage, Blood Elf Warlock, and a Troll Hunter. So we're going to go ahead and get started with the first pull over here, which is these monkeys that are basically being guided by an outside force and being puppeted around a little bit. You'll notice a meter, a multiplayer bar down there at the bottom. That particular bar basically counts the amount of monkeys that you kill en route to the first boss. When it hits 40, we'll go ahead and get the first boss. Now this particular room over here, you kind of want to get in that center area because these guys knock you around kind of all crazy like. So I'm going to try and drop a vortex and keep them in here. And you'll notice I'm getting knocked back to all hell by these guys. So I feel like I'm kind of trying to stay in a sumo pit. And what's funny is they don't walk straight in and out of that particular area. They seem to walk around to get back in. So it kind of gives you a little bit of breathing room as a tank. If for some reason you get knocked out, you manage to go back in, it'll actually take you a few seconds to get around. And we're going to go ahead and pause the video until we get up to the big AoE room. One nifty little thing that I'm going to do here is that I'm going to do symbiosis. I've done it on a warlock before. That gives me life tap. So tonight I'm going to do it on this mage. I forget what I get for a mage. The life tap is basically handy. It kind of converts some of my health into rage, and it's really good to use it and then immediately go into frenzied regen. You kind of wind up with a bit of a positive. Alright, this is the big AoE room over here, and I'm going to use the mage's symbiosis that I got, which is for a start. We got a lot of AoE mobs over here, and these are non-elites. I'm going to go ahead and get a vortex down. Try to keep them in one spot. And it's pretty much the room where your bar will go up a lot in terms of getting monkeys towards that goal of hitting 40. And go ahead and take another pause and wait for the boss to get down. Alright, we are at 40 monkeys, so now Ook has dropped down, and he is already ground and pounding. Basically, this guy's kind of like fighting Diddy Kong. You have to try and avoid his ground and pound. When he does it, it's really simple, like he's doing it right there. You just have to get away from him, that he does it in front of him, basically in a cone shape. And as a tank, you will have enough time to run around it if you notice he's doing it there, and I was able to get on the other side of him. And for some reason, when I do this frost armor that I get from the mage, it actually has a cast time. I'm not too sure if they've changed that for mages too, but I find it odd that it's got a cast on it for me. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get my trees up. Yes. Buddies are pretty much dead. And you kind of want to avoid the barrels when they come around to you, because they'll hit you and do a little bit of damage. And it looks like a sword dropped again. It's one of the few things that's in the beta that actually seems to have a little bit of a unique model to it, instead of them just using placeholder graphics. So we're going to go ahead and take another pause again until the next break. Alright, we are in the next section, which is really close, and this is basically a gauntlet. You have these little rabid guys, and you just basically have to get all the way up these ramps over here and get to the next boss area. It's just a gauntlet pull all the way through. I haven't encountered these guys in a while yet, and I think the zone of the beta that's open now, you do have some quests involving these guys. They crack me up, these little rabbit rat things with these lit barrels in their mouth. They're explosive alcohol, basically. This dungeon, from what I've seen of it, and I did do it all the way through a few times the other night, I find it hysterical. I think they did a really good job on this boss, and one of the ones coming up later you might recognize getting the theme of a particular movie. And we're in the next boss area now, so I'm going to go ahead and pause it while all this stuff dies, and we'll wait for the boss. Alright, here is the boss, and he is at the top of the gauntlet. The last time I fought him, I had an extra bar, an extra button that I could hit to bonk him with some kind of a hammer. And here he goes into his lottie-dottie, we love to Scotty phase. Basically a whirlwind, and I try to taunt him and keep him away from me. We're gonna get rabbits coming down now, or vermin. There's Carrot Breath, which is basically a lurker beam. I've gone ahead and hit Nature's Grasp, and gonna try to root anything that's attacking me here. Sometimes these guys do stun, which is rough. We're gonna mark skin, and yeah, got a party member up there. Gonna try to go the opposite way. And looks like we're gonna have Carrot Breath again, I think. No, not yet. There it is. And I'm gonna go ahead and go berserk on this guy and finish him off. Get a little bit of aggro on these ads and pop him down. And there you go, there's Hopalotopus. And no, that's not his name, but I like him. And we'll be proceeding over to the next area, so I'll see you again in a few moments. Alright, we are in the final boss section. This guy is basically one of these brew elementals that's here in this particular instance. He's basically a gigantic squeak toy. As you can see, he's got several abilities: bloating brew, bubbling brew, and fizzy brew. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and mention what this fight is like at first, because I want you to see a couple phases of it, and then I'll discuss what I think it's like, and see if we agree on what kind of movie this seems to be, well, what particular movie it seems to be based on. So I'm going to go ahead and wait a few moments over here for the mage to join us, and for the priest to get his mana. And I see by looking at my buffs, the reason why that frost armor has a cast time is because it's a permanent buff. As you can see, it doesn't even have a timer up there. Alright, the priest is ready, so we're gonna go ahead and get this started. Guy sounds like a ghostly squeak toy. Okay, there's the bubble shield. And here comes float. Now there's going to be ads that pop up on this particular boss that we need to kill pretty quickly, because they will basically channel like a reverse drain life on him that heals him. So here's the carbonation phase. You have to click on one of these bubbles and jump up. And you have to be... You can still DPS him, even as melee, from up here. You just have got to get out of the ground level where all the yellow alcohol is. And when you see it fade, try to come down this way. You don't suffer any fall damage. Not really seeing the ads that I saw last night on this guy. He had friends that basically would sit around the room and channel health back into him. And I'm not seeing them right now. The hunter's got blowed over there, and you can see he moved to the side so that he does not get that stuff on any of his neighbors. That's really weird. I'm not seeing any of the ads that I saw last night. Alright, we are in the carbonation phase, so we're going to get a bubble and go up. Now, I admit I haven't seen the modern remake of it, but whenever I go through this phase, I just can't help but think of Willy Wonka or Family Guy when they're doing the spoof of Willy Wonka and they have to go up into the carbonation room. That's all that I can think of. For some reason, we didn't get the ads, but it's pretty handy. And that's it. That is Stormstout Brewery. I hope it'll be a little faster on live. It does seem to go by a little quick, but maybe they'll add more to it by the time the beta goes along further and Mists of Pandaria goes live. And unfortunately, he doesn't have loot right now, but there is a tour of Stormstout Brewery. Fun little instance. Bunch of alcohol-related things, and everything is basically drunk in this place. If you look at the pandas on the way in, they all have a wasted buff on them. And that is it for tonight. So be sure to check out the other beta videos that I have up. And I've gone ahead and done the Skolo and Stratholme revamps along with Ragefire and Scarlet Monastery. Some of those are not complete and they look a little buggy, but still fun to go through and see where they're going. So take care, everybody, and see you in the next beta video.